Hey, everybody, this is Rick Seagraves with Lake Town Podcast.
And I'm Matthew Willett. We've got Jim Marsh with the Heart of the Lakes Cruise-In with us today.
How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Very well.
So the Heart of the Lakes Cruise-In is a local event. Just started last year, was the inaugural running of it. Did 4 shows, I believe, from June until September.
That's right. Second Friday of the month, June through September.
Okay.
We should also specify the Cruise-In. It's a car show that happens here on Main Street. And
Yep, right on downtown Annandale in the City Hall parking lot and heading down Cedar.
And for those who don't know what a cruise-in would be, maybe explain that a little bit.
So, I'm into old cars as yourself and a lot of people here. A lot of car shows you can go to on a weekend. A cruise-in is more like come on in, hang out, see some other cars, maybe hit restaurant, have a drink, have an ice cream, and head out. There's no judging. There's no trophies. It's just a chance to get together with other folks with similar interests.
give people a reason to actually take their cars out of the garage.
Yeah. We picked Friday nights because we figured, a lot of us are busy with other things during the week, and then weekend comes and you got things going on. Friday night, hopefully most people are done with work. Get the car out of the garage, go take a little cruise around the lake, and come down and visit downtown Annandale.
Yeah. So how long have you been into having classic cars?
Pretty much my whole life. I grew up. My uncle had a body shop. I had 2 older brothers that were into old cars. One happened to be into 57 Chevys, and the other was into 58 Fords. Not sure how that happened, but so just kind of always grew up with cars around, and got my first car just before I turned 15, and still own it.
What was your first car?
It's a 1960 DeSoto Adventurer.
So that's where the DeSoto comes from. DeSoto is not a very common car.
No.
Not a very common car.
Most people couldn't pick one out of a lineup if they tried.
Nope, it's a Chrysler product. 60 is a new car for DeSoto because the last one was in 61, so relatively new for DeSoto. But yeah, it's kind of an oddball car. It's kind of fun to have something that's a little bit different than everybody else has.
Nice. Now, that's kind of where I'm at with mine, too. Everybody knows what a Falcon is, but my particular model they only made for half of a year. Thus, it's kind of that very few and far between, much like yourself having the DeSoto.
Yeah, very cool.
So how's the progress of your car coming along?
If you own an old car, it can be a struggle sometimes. So last year I was hoping to have it the engine redone and have it back out for summer, and things got delayed a little bit. So it's still at the engine shop, hoping to get it out sometime this summer. But that's just the way things go. My family, I think we have 4 old cars, and they're all in some sort of disrepair right now. We're shooting for summer season here to get them going.
I was just going to say, I believe you have a 66 Mustang?
67 Mustang.
67?
Yep, coupe.
And then you have a 51 Ford? 51 Chevy?
51 Chevy pickup that my son and I are doing like a resto mod for my wife so she can enjoy driving it around.
And then your DeSoto, and then your son has a DeSoto too, correct?
He also has a 60, yep. I've got the Adventurer, the top of the line, and he's got the Fireflight, the more sporty model. Not that you'd maybe notice that, but...
I'd never know the difference. They're both huge.
They are boats. It's like driving your living room couch down the road. Nice.
So when was the first date? When did you guys start doing it?
Last June was the first one we did. I'd say a few of us had this idea maybe the summer before when we were at... the Maple Lake Car Show, and I'm certainly not the first one to have the idea of doing a car show or a cruise-in Annandale, but a few of us got talking about it. It was also a topic at the Chamber Downtown Committee. I know I was watching one of the earlier podcasts. You were involved in some of that early on, or both of you were.
Yeah.
We're doing the awnings and
Yep.
all the improvements on Oak, so kind of came out of that, and it's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, so just another great event to get people down into Annandale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that several years ago there was a discussion about trying to get a similar type of a car show going, and it just didn't really get anywhere. I don't think there was enough support for it. There wasn't enough volunteers to try to help it do, so I commend you for being able to actually, rally the troops and get it going, because it's pretty fun. I believe the numbers that we have had were just shy of 100 for the first ever drive-in or cruise-in, which is pretty incredible considering we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know one of the other members of our group, Eric, he's always giving me crap about, why don't you have the drone out there? I said, I have had it out there. He's like, well, you should have it out there every time. I said, you get 100 cars out here, then I'll get it out every single time after that. And we've gotten, I think, 92, 93.
I think we were right up in there. Yeah, I think the goal this year would be great to see 100 cars fill from the City Hall parking lot all the way down the other end of Cedar, and we got room to keep going if we get more cars. So.
Yep, and we have many, many sponsors. So when you go to the cruise-in, you get a sheet to put your make and model of your car on it.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how the layout of it is going to be this year. I know we're still working on it. But there's coupons for different sponsors and different establishments in town, i.e. the ice cream shop, and I think Billy D's, and I think Stadium had one also, to where you can use the coupon and go either get buy one get one free or some money off. So hats off to everybody for the support and contributing to that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a nice way to get a little enticement to go down and see the local shops, get yourself an ice cream or have a drink or a bite to eat. And again, just a chance to get your car out of the garage and have some fun with it.
And I assume now a lot of those people that have cars are kind of like you guys, where you'll have a whole family of cars. So I know there's a couple of families in town where they have multiple members of the family have their own little cars. And is that something that you've seen, like it becomes a family thing?
I'd say so for the most part. Yeah, you see a lot of people get into it. So I've got 2 sons, and like I said, Jameson's into the old cars. My other son, Damien, not so much, but he does think they're pretty cool. He does like the Mustang, so he's got a couple of years before he can drive one.
It's starting to morph into that at my house. My wife has been to a couple of them, and she came to another car show with me too. And I feel like as soon as my car is done, I will be likely getting a C10 Chevy pickup and making it fun for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which that's kind of like that gift you get at Christmas, where it's for her but not really for her.
I've tried to bring that up to my wife several times, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
No,
So do you want to know the trick to that?
just got to get it right.
Get your daughter to have some interest in a car.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping to get my daughter into dirt biking,
Okay.
because I want a dirt bike.
Yeah. I mean, you could just buy one.
It is a good plan.
I could.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
I do that a lot.
I do think my wife got to the point where we talked about cars so much and we're playing around with them. She's like, hey, I want something for myself, and I'd like to get an old pickup. So
Yeah,
we
that's pretty cool.
tracked it down, and we're working on it for her. Hopefully we'll get it out this summer.
What's the plans for it?
We're doing an LS swap on it, so it's getting the drivetrain out of a 79 Camaro and an early 2000s Chevy pickup engine. So it'll go fast, it'll stop nice, it'll handle nice, but it'll look like an old 51 Chevy pickup.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do the conversions where they'll take either the Camaros or I know S10 chassis kind of almost perfectly fit with that.
Yep. Sometimes you just drop
50s.
it on an S10 chassis,
Yeah.
or some of the Ford rear ends will fit right in there as
Yeah.
well, the 9-inch Ford rear ends. So.
Yeah, I know it. I've talked to Jim Otto here in town. He's done it. Has he brought some of his trucks up there? He's got the one truck right now. I don't know if he's ever been up there, but
Do you recall if he was there? I don't remember.
No idea. There's
Yeah.
so many people going on all the time, and
Yeah.
with helping with registration and getting everybody to get their form filled out and everything. I'll see 75 people, and I couldn't tell you 5 of them.
yeah.
Because
So-
it's just so chaotic.
So what's the coolest cars you've seen up there so far?
Boy, that's hard to say.
That is hard.
It
Yeah.
is. I would say it's the whole gamut, right? So it's the guy that spent $100,000 to have it professionally restored, and it's just beautiful, like showroom. And then you got the guy that it's a survivor, never been touched. You got the rat rods. You
all the
got
different
purists.
classes, I
Yeah, it's
suppose,
just everything. So it's bring whatever you want. We had one wooden boat show up to one of the shows. We had one guy show up with a jet engine and a lawn tractor, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, it's like, bring your motorcycles, your boats, your cars, your trucks, whatever you're looking at.
If it's got an engine, bring it up.
Yeah, the very first show we had a brand new, was it a 2022 Rivian pickup truck? Just got delivered, and they came down, and the crowd loved it. I mean, just something different, So
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have a classic car. You can have just car.
yeah. I mean, we saw quite a bit of late model BMWs or Camaros, Corvettes come down. I mean, and people just love looking at all the different cars. I love the styling and what people do to it to make it their own. It's a lot of fun to walk around and look at all the different styles of cars out there.
Well, most of the late model stuff that shows up is, for the most part, anything but stock too.
Yeah.
Like I know that there was a Toyota FRS, I think it was, which is just a little compact 2-door car that had a very well built LS motor in it, and it cooked.
They squeezed that in there.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
That
gonna
took some
guess there was
fabrication.
some firewall massaging and some other things going on to get that to work.
Yeah. How's your project coming along? We're gonna see it this summer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just have to have the ambition to get started on it again. I got the trans in, so now I got to start. I got to install the clutch pedal itself because my car is an automatic and I'm converting it to a manual. So clutch is installed, trans is installed. I just have to bleed everything, get it going. Then I can put the headers in before the heads go in because there's a little bit of a fitment issue. There's not a whole lot of room in the engine bay. Then I do intake manifold and 4-barrel carb and hope it starts. but it should be ready to go by the first cruise in.
That's awesome. Yeah, you were saying, it takes a lot of people to put it together. It's not just me, it's not just you and I, but a lot of guys there to help direct traffic. The chamber's been really good to help out with sponsorship. The city of Annandale and the police department have been great with helping with traffic. So it takes a lot of work to kind of put it together, but it goes quick. I mean, it's 5 to 8 on a Friday night, but it's a lot of fun to see all the people out.
Yeah, 5 to 8 being 3 hours seems like it's a long time, but when you're there,
Yeah.
it's gone before you know it.
Well, yeah, when you get walking around and talking and time flies. Is that every Friday that you're going to do it in the summer, or is it every other? Or?
So it's just the second Friday of the month,
Okay.
June through September, so four times. And then we do a car show over at Classic Rides and Rods. That'll be the Saturday of
July 1st, I
week.
believe,
Yeah,
isn't it?
July 1st.
Cool.
Yep. So if you're looking for a traditional car show, we do that every year as well.
So what are the dates this summer?
Putting me on the spot, huh?
Of course.
You said
That's funny. I was going to bring the flyer with the dates, and then I was like, I don't know. I think it's like June 14th, and I'll give you the wrong dates. Second Friday of the month.
Second Friday.
I think it's June 14th.
I think that's easy enough to
and
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second Friday of the month. And now the car show that you guys do over at Classic Hall, is that like a true car show? There's judging and stuff like that, or is that just kind of the same thing? We're just doing it in a parking lot.
There's no judging, right?
No. It's just
same kind of
same
thing. But it's on
concept,
it's on a weekend.
Yep.
Bring it out.
come hang out, show
fill it
off your
up.
car,
Yep.
look at other people's cars. I think he's got food and stuff over there too.
Yep. We'll have food trucks over there, and then obviously there's a ton of cars over there if you're interested
Yeah.
in getting into the old car habit. There's
That's the one that I always forget that's going on until I'm driving by and I'm like, crap, I got to pull in there and go look at some cars.
Yeah. Well, 4th of July around here, there's nothing to do, right? So.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's
at
pretty quiet in town.
So I guess looking forward, what long-term goals do you have? Are you going to try to do more or keep it how it is and just kind of grow it bigger, or what are the thoughts there?
I think when we started last year, we said, let's just keep it simple, see how it goes. Everybody's welcome, no judging, kind of keep it low key. I think doing it once a month makes sense. Maybe if we get enough help, we maybe do it a couple times a month, but doing it during the summer, we've talked about May, but May this year we could be in a snowstorm. So
We might not make our June date this
yeah,
year.
exactly. I think June through September
There'll
is
still
probably
be snow
pretty good.
piles in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do it too often, then it's hard to get people.
Takes the
to get-
specialty out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think 4 was a nice mix, and we're also dependent on the weather. So when we got nice sunshine and nice warm summer evening, we had tons of people out. We had a couple that kind of rained out on us, but I think long term, just keep growing the numbers that are coming. We'll keep spreading out. We got a nice downtown area that we can keep going with cars, and it's nice to see the interest.
Then, of course, adding little touches here and there. So, for example, this summer I get to use my radio-friendly voice and be an announcer for the PA system that I'm going to get out there, so that we can have some music in the background.
Yep.
Because a lot of car shows are some people bring their own music, some have music playing. I think we had discussed just getting a PA system or a speaker of some sort and play some music in the background, probably some good old classic rock, because nobody could argue with that, and just kind of chat a little bit about what we have going on and what the future dates are, and just little additions here and there to improve it, and obviously open a suggestion if anybody sees something missing or has any suggestion. We're all game to listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we had good turnout last year. A lot of good comments from folks looking at stuff, and I think it's a nice location. You get a nice downtown area. So
Well, if I remember correctly, the numbers we were originally projecting were only 40 or 50 cars.
Yeah,
Our
we were-
first one we had over 90.
yeah, we were hoping for 50 cars.
People
so
just
yeah.
kept coming.
Yep. Great to see.
Yeah, it's just anytime you get one of those events that are downtown, just any of these events that happen down there, it's really nice. And that the fact that we have that nice parking lot down at City Hall is kind of nice, because then you're not right in traffic. And
I would say the guys, that's where they want to park. There's a couple trees there. So there's some shade. So the people that show up early, they're getting there. So they get in that parking lot and they get the sweet
Yeah.
spot for sure.
but otherwise, you run down Cherry,
Cedar.
Yep. Okay.
Run down Cedar towards Excelsior, and that first show we were all the way down to Excelsior, but we can shoot off of there as well. So.
Yeah.
Which, of those who don't know exactly how far it is 3 blocks worth of cars on both sides of the road, just completely packed. It was quite the sight to see.
It was, and you got the drone out. We had some great drone shots.
Yeah, I'll try to find some of that footage and overlay it in our podcast to see, or at least a couple of pictures. Anyways, I know I got those for sure.
I was going to mention that there's no judging, there's no fee, but we do try and support our local food shelf. So we do ask if people want to bring a donation, they can bring it for food or money for the food shelf. So trying to help out the local community.
Yeah, we had the food shelf van set up right by Clock Tower Park, so that if anybody had anything to bring, then we just put it right into
perfect.
the van and be done with it.
Yeah, it works out good. I got a chance to drive the van a couple times last year. That was fun.
The hot rod.
Yeah, that's great. No, but there's a good core of probably 6 of us that are there almost every car show, helping direct traffic and get people parked and make sure they got the registration and the coupons to go down and get an ice cream or get something to drink.
Yeah, and that was one of the good things too, is getting the feedback last year from Sweet Escapes as to how busy they were during the car show, because people are actually utilizing the coupons they were given. I don't know if Terry reported back with Billy D's or Stadium or any of those, but I would only assume that they are getting a boost also.
Yeah, I've talked to some of them. I mean, just great crowds on a Friday night coming out to see the car show and then heading out for some dinner or something to drink. Definitely the Sweet Escape ice cream shop was a lot of people in and out of there, yeah.
Yeah, in summertime that should be. But I suppose with that though, we got second Friday of the month, June through September. Come check out some cars and walk around and see what people are doing, and maybe it'll get yourself the itch to get a car of your own,
Or convince the wife you need one.
Yeah, there you go. Again, 5 to 8, get done with work, maybe get cut out of work a little bit early, grab your car and come down. And Friday nights, a lot of lake people are in town, and a lot of them have some nice cars they've driven out from the cities, and they share in the fun as well.
Thank you, Jim, for coming in and visiting. We appreciate it, and we wish you nothing but success moving forward with the Heart of the Lakes cruise in. The attendance seems like it's been great. As far as anybody else, if you have any interest in being on our show or know anybody else who want to be on our show, certainly reach out on Facebook or send an email to laketownpodcast@gmail.com. We'd be happy to make contact and get something set up. Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your week.